Ah, yes, indeed, of course, I give love on Christmas Day. But of course, love must not be only given on Christmas Day. It must be, of course, throughout the lifetime of the human existence. Just plug in this in one of the ports there. Next week, take your time. Right, good, beautiful. Yes. Of course, plus a good night to all and sundry. Our apology for being a bit tardy tonight, but it was, of course, that football thing. I mean, it is consuming a lot of time, and of course, a lot of brain matter is being expended as far as that is concerned. But we are committed and dedicated. Remember, of course, it is about the East-West Corridor Football Tournament. It is called the DNA, David Naked Academy. Yes, the DNA, of course, sponsored it, and of course, there are some what I consider be benefits, serious benefits to be had. Persons who prove to be very, what I consider be skillful in the art of football, they may have a chance to go further. So why not? I mean, if we say we have East-West Corridor. But I want to say, of course, to those persons who have not yet come on board, because whilst we are looking at support for our hamper drive, Christmas in the air, we are also, of course, looking at a sponsor for the football team. We have some 25 persons, so I appreciate that. And what I can say, be comparatively speaking, a huge budget because you have to find clothes. I don't think we have asked them to get their own footwear because they would have been accomplished footballers, so at least they'll have that. But they will have different uniforms over the years that they would have been playing football for different teams and so on. So one could understand that. So in order for them to be uniform, we cannot have them going out there looking chaotic. Everybody have on a different uniform and so on. I mean, that by itself may well be, of course, a uniform in itself, and uniformity in the midst of chaos. But it is not enough, and therefore, of course, we will want to have a uniform team out there in terms of attire, so that they can, of course, perform as expected. Coming from, of course, these parts, Eastport is playing Laventil, Beetham, Sealats, and as far as Diego Martin, I understand some of the guys are because they prefer to play football with us. But of course, we have certain borderline issues that we have to iron out as well. That being as it may, of course, once again, have a wonderful rest of the not the rest of the night, well, the rest of the night with us. And then, of course, after that, when we would have closed off, you have a further rest of the night. And so let me just say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Joshua is with me, of course, and let's hear what he has to say.
Good night, everybody.
And then, of course, we will go further. Let me make sure that his mic is on. Your mic is on, and speak a little louder. Speak a little louder. Right?
Good night, everybody.
Okay, good. Yeah, go ahead. What has been happening in your neck of the woods? You come sneezing on the thing. If you know you're sneezing, we're coming on for you. We done late already. Let's hear. Go on, let's go. What it is you want to share with the public?
I thought I had no age group for the football.
There's no age group in the sense that you too small.
They say I have no age group, that mean I can play.
Yeah, but I think they will trample you and dispel you and dismiss you. So please don't even entertain the thought.
Why?
Yeah, come on, man. You can't even play goal.
I bring something that most of the people now wear. One of these.
A hoodie?
Yeah.
All right.
But wearing these.
Well, you know hoodie would have come from is more appropriate for what kind of climate? People in what kind of climate? Yeah?
I would say like cold.
Cool, that's right. So that is where that came from. I remember coming from New York some time ago, but it was December time, so so it's very cool in that part of the world. So of course I had to come to Trinidad on that flight with hoodie, yes, and very, very thick clothing. But by the time I hit the airport terminal. I'll tell you me, I was feeling hot, 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 hot. I had to run in the bathroom and take off that clothes, and then of course put on my usually thin clothes, which we would wear in the tropics here. And guess what? The reverse was the case when I was going. When I went to New York, I stopped off in Jersey to see your brother. Yes, to see your brother, and we went to the mall. By going to the mall, I had my shoes, my footwear that I came from Trinidad with, and guess what? Snow was falling, and boy oh boy, I almost got cramped. I almost got my feet freezed, and I said, never me again. We rushed to the mall, and I bought two of those thick, well padded boots so that I could kick the snow without a problem and feel very, very comfortable. Yeah, that is how it is. So people, if you are going to these countries where the climate or the weather condition is changed, different to where you came from, and you have to wear different clothing, well, please walk with something. In my case, I did not, and in both instances, I had to, of course, rush somewhere to purchase something. Back home, of course, I had to rush to the bathroom to get my thin clothes on because of the heat that the thick clothing, like what Joshua has on there, would have generated. All right, tell us anything else that you want to share with us, because I want to open up the lines early, and we have, of course, quite a lot of information I want to share with the public. Anything that you want to share with us?
Have plenty people wearing these nowadays.
All right, because we have to you have to go on the board. We have a chalkboard, a whiteboard, and so on. So he will go and do some mathematics and some maybe some grammar, get some sentences on the board and so on. Because even though it is holidays, no, you have to stick to it, because once you stick to it, the more you stick to it, is more familiar you become with the work, and then of course when exam time comes, well, you are extremely ready to take on whatever comes at you, and that has to do with a lot of practice. And mommy and daddy, you can't leave it to the teachers alone. You have to be able to insist that they do some reading at a particular time. In the case of Joshua, from 5 o'clock he has to get down to some kind of work. Normally I will leave it on the board, or he will have to do some reading. He's a slow writer, so we have to give him some writing practice as well to see how fast, and put a timer so that you finish on time. All of that is part and parcel of the task of making sure that your children can live up and accommodate without much difficulty the work that they are expected to perform and to know at a particular time. CXC exam, the CXC exam, and of course the tertiary degree exam. All of that part and parcel of the whole process. Anything you want to say, and you'll have to make your departure. Go ahead. Yeah, you have to make your departure. I have some things to say that I want to treat with.
So school closed 6 o'clock in the morning. My mother wake me up. She put me outside to see if anybody went to school, because we call it right next to the school, and people had to pass by me. So my mother said,
Talking harder.
My mother said, look outside and see if anybody went to school. And I never see nobody. There's the empty side of the road. After I went and tell mommy say okay. After mommy went, after me and mommy went again, and we didn't see anybody after.
All right. That's a mouthful, but I'm sure that people understand essentially what he said. Anything else that you want to share with us? I think tomorrow we will have a little more depth in terms of your presence, but because we are late tonight, I don't want to have the callers who are on standby waiting too long. That's it?
I might be here tomorrow.
Oh, you might be here tomorrow. All right, no problem.
Wait, before that, Saturday.
All right, whatever. We'll see what's happening. Everything is possible.
Then ask Daddy if he could go by my grandfather for Saturday.
Yeah, he wants to go by his grandpa, so I may well do it on Saturday because
His grandfather
I
said-
have some work for this week, and boy oh boy, it is time consuming, but I'm committed.
Grandfather say
All right.
he feel a little bit
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Joshua. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you, Joshua.
Wait.
Bye bye.
sick.
More?
I saying something?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My grandfather say he feeling 6 hours once in.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. All right.
And he ain't carry my ear.
All right. Not yet. Not yet. The operating word is yet. Right? It means therefore the possibility exists. All right. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Yes, indeed. Of course, he's a bundle of fun, but we have to get on to serious business. Of course, the line is open. The line is open, 337-6940. Don't forget, of course, those of you who are still getting together your material in order to, of course, contribute to our hamper drive. I want to say, I want to really thank all those businesses that have come forward. One business, we have not yet collected it, but another 30 hampers to be collected, quite in Marabella. Yes, indeed. They didn't ask me to call the name, so I will not call it unless that is the case. All right, let me just share with you one or two little things that we have been doing. But of course, don't forget that the ground report moves to TTT and therefore Talk City, yes. When? On the 5th of January, the first Monday in the new year, 5th of January. So there we have, of course, the team is there in the background, Andy, Mikey, and myself, as we, of course, await this momentous occasion. Let me just go straight to the line. Let me see. All right, good. Let me go straight to the line. Yes. Why is it? Why? Let's try again, caller. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, caller. Let me just see what is happening there. All right. All right. Try again just about now. All right. Good. Great. Let's see what's happening here now. All right. Let me make sure.
Hello.
Yes, so just hold on. Right, you
Hello?
should be hearing me now. Pleasant good night. Welcome.
Good night, Lennox.
Good night to
Good
you.
night, Jonathan. Caller from library.
Yes, library. Tell me.
I will try and see if I can get some stuff together, but the time so small. How I working? I don't have time again now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
To say
all
to
right.
do toy drive, food drive, and thing.
Yes.
You know who you're talking to now.
Yes, I know you're talking.
But
to.
I will try.
Yes, thank you very
Right.
much. Of course, you have been a contributor in the past. Yes, thanks very much. Yes, indeed.
Okay, my thing is tonight. This how to say this nomad man holding a press conference in Tobago.
That never
What
was.
did he expect?
That never was. Conference. That never was.
What he expect? What did he expect? You're
I
ruining people's life for the past I would say 10 years.
Yeah.
There's nothing to show for it except a bad record. If he was going to school for that 10 years, you as a teacher, you would have graded him what? Not at 36?
Oh boy, I don't know if it is a grade to as low as what he deserves. I really don't know.
Eh?
If there's a grade, I don't know
Um,
if there's a grade that is as low as what he deserves. That is to tell you
My
how off the chart he has been. But go ahead, yes.
another issue from our porch coming down to the library. There's this Wasa truck that keep doing these same repairs over and over. I wonder if they're looking into this south region here. How these people keep doing bubble work. Lennox, right going down right in front by Chabla Street there not too far.
Uh-huh.
They dig up the road, right?
Yeah.
And they repair it. Go
Right.
right next to it now, the line bursts again.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? And right up on the hill by me here, to swing into the swing down to come down the street by me there, they have a leak for the longest time. I will highlight it and film it tomorrow when I go in health center.
Good, well, good,
For
good.
the
That's
longest
important.
time, they're passing up and down, and they would not stop to repair it. I don't know if anybody call it teen or anything, but you're seeing it, the road is getting bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They recently repaired by Grand Trace there. You know the same spot leaking again? It'll make 3 days from Friday to now. The spot leaking. So
Slipshod
if
work,
Miss
slipshod
Kadisha,
work.
if Miss Kadisha Amin, whoever is in Overwasa, they need to fire these old contractors because it's the same bubble. They did the same. There was worse when PNM wasn't here. I could call her the truck number, but I wouldn't do it. I would send it for you.
All right, good. I
But for
appreciate
the
that.
past 10 years, they have been doing the same nonsense. And they come back now and doing the same nonsense. That is why the revenue, it is wasting. They did work Sunday. That double time, triple time for them.
Mm-hmm.
And the line burst again.
Wow.
So somebody need to look at these two contractors, man, that is in South, from South region, from Pusher Point. Look into these men, how they're doing work, because they're doing a bunch of bubble. They're wasting money. Look, the Prime Minister trying to get money, and they're wasting it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but slipshod work cannot be countenanced, cannot be tolerated,
And the next
especially
thing
in
too, this
overseas.
this
Value for money.
recruitment drive,
Mhm.
this recruitment drive where they open for 30,000 workers or how much for the truck masonry, everything. It's the same set of people who work under the PNM. Same set of people come back and apply under UNC, you know. And you know what they're saying? We have to humble ourselves. We can't do how we used to do before because it's Indian people running the show now.
Yeah, when you have those racial on the well, I shouldn't say undertones now because it's so conspicuous that I mean, even a blind man would see when, of course,
You
people
should have
like
heard these
Gonzalez
guys
is
in the
talking
back,
about
see
look,
how they was talking
yeah, the
about the
composition of
UNC
boards and all that.
government.
Yeah, yeah,
You should hear these guys always talking, and they're saying they can't wait to get back into power because they know what there was the contractor that who was with them, whoever was spitting out money for them. No,
yeah.
they can't get
Corruption
money
is a
spit
way
out.
of life. It's a way of life. It's a normative behavior promoted and condoned by the PNM. We know that, but right-thinking people who are very optimistic about Trinidad and Tobago, and they see, of course, that they can have a sustainable life, they can have a sustainable means of sustenance, which is, of course, the direction of this government. They will, of course, forego immediate gratification for the long-term benefits that will
I
include, of course,
love
their
my
generation.
Tobago sisters and brothers, how they stick together to get out the PNM. But we
Yes.
have hard-headed people in Trinidad, from Sawa, Laverton, Point 14, Tuku. You understand?
Yeah.
That they head not straight on the body. And they're not focused to see the corruption, the lifestyle. Look at the areas that where these people are red, where they are red, and
Yeah.
you see the conditions they're living. Eh?
Yeah.
We are living in a PNM constituency, and forever we're complaining about this big main drain. We flood out the other day and keep getting flood out. But I am how much? 57 years. I grew up in flood water, playing in flood water, and I'm still living in flood water.
Wow. Yeah,
But
yeah.
they
That is
just
not
sit down
progress at
underneath.
all.
Yeah, no, you have no pavement. You have no pavement. You have no proper drainage system. You have nothing, no development, nothing, And they're still supporting the same red.
Well,
I am
of course,
57 years,
there's
not a
some
cricket
there's
team,
some
not
people who are
nothing.
just pig-headed, but eventually, I'm sure that no human being tolerates abuse indefinitely, just as animals and even
They
plants.
tolerate abuse because every Friday or Saturday or so, they would sit down under the thing and bad talk UNC.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they're studying how much years they're living in the area and they ain't get nothing done.
yeah.
You understand? When the guy come campaigning for UNC, I told him, I said, I show him the houses. I say, you ain't getting a vote from them. He said he realized that because when he went by them to greet them for for their support, he didn't get a good welcome. I said, I know he wasn't getting that.
Yeah, well,
He said, sure, right.
there are some people that are that pig-headed, and of course they are blind to the reality of their circumstance, or they are so ideologically rooted that they can't see anything as like the diehard eyes are PNM until they're dead, and so on and so forth. Even, and without any rational basis for supporting a group of individuals who, when they get into office, they turn and abuse you, and then of course they line their pockets, and then they get out, like of course Rowley, who is now trying to make some kind of what I consider to be amorphous,
According to the caller this morning
stupid
from
comeback.
on the program, the Ground Report,
Yeah.
he lonely. He lonely. He missing company. The four walls. But is a silver bracelet? But I give him more company. I have plenty of companies if you get a silver bracelet.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
had all
Well,
of them, but I have silver
it,
bracelet.
it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time.
All right, Lennox. Good night and blessed
Good night.
evening.
Yes. Same to
I
you.
will
Same
try
to
and see
you.
what I could do something.
Okay. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. I like that
Yes.
on air.
Take care.
All right. Thank you very much. Of
All
course,
right.
that caller is from La Brea, and of course, she is making a commitment to our hamper drive. That's a long drive. I did it already, so I can tell you. But I remember. I'm not going to catch this time. I have another vehicle that I decided to go Pinal to collect some rice and other grocery items. And guess what? On my way back, the vehicle overheated. And then for the first time, I know what has to be done. You're supposed to let the engine cool out. But what I did immediately, first I was frustrated. I threw the water in one time and the engine seized. And so it's a clear case of the nail costing more or the candle costing more than the funeral, because we had to hire a tow truck from that distance, I think somewhere by Claxton Bay to Port of Spain, and I think it cost about $500. I didn't even think I had the money at the time, but so be it. So I don't intend to get caught in that again. So we'll have vehicles that are working, that will make the trip one reliably, and that of course I will not of course engage in that lapse in process, recognizing of course the physics that will cause and the mechanics that will cause of course an engine when it overheats to seize. I remember that very distinctly. I think about 2 or 3 Christmases ago. That being as it may, of course, I think I told you I will put up Rowley's, of course, advertisement. I think it's very interesting. Let's look at the advertisement that he would have conjured up for that exercise. Let's go straight there. He had advertisement and all, man. Look at it, right? What does it say? It says a conversation with Tobagonians, and then it goes on. Of course, his picture is on the side. Something, as I've always said, only a mother would love, but he probably prides himself of that because of the offices that he holds, whether at university or as prime minister. You have a woman, not because of the fella has any evidence or indication that he's somebody that a woman of beauty will put herself with, but because the office and what he could give. So he pays, in other words, for that. I mean, it's a technical way of paying for that which ought to be free. I always say that I am not prepared to pay for what I know is for free. Well, Rowley would have paid not necessarily in money, but indirectly in money because, of course, he would have a certain amount of influence to be able to give people jobs and so on. And so, of course, women will will gravitate to that, and he will believe that somehow he has the what is called the the manliness to, of course, attract women. Well, I say no, you're ugly like sin. But let's go to the statement that is made in that advertisement. A conversation with Tobagonians, with former Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable, just imagine that, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley. Where the hell you get honorable from? That is what I wanted to let you all know. The man is so narcissistic, he's so self-serving, he's so egotistic, he is so struck with self-consuming that he cannot, in an advertisement, take away the handle of honorable. Honorable, my foot. Man, get the hell out of our face. That's why nobody visited it. And I told you so on the ground report, and I said so on this program as well. But let's go straight to the line. A pleasant good night and welcome to the corridor.
A pleasant good night to each and every one.
Yes, man.
All I see, all I have Uncle Lennox driving all over the night, all over the day, in the traffic, going here, going there, burning more fuel, putting out the accident, and just begging on his behalf. All please come out and give something that Keith Scotland, your fear is so derelict that anytime the police here is want to write a ticket for parking derelict, moving with scrap iron without a license. So
yeah, that's what they need, those kinds of things, because see, they believe that they have a monopoly on insulting people. We must, of course, reciprocate because we are Trinbagonians. Go ahead, my friend.
Look at it. He gets $3 million in brief while he's a member of parliament.
I want to get you on the system. I have Mr. Faizabad on, so as soon as he finishes, right? I prefer to have your contribution on the system, right? Go ahead, Mr. Faizabad.
Yeah, he get $3 million brief. Yeah. While he was a minister in the Ministry of National Security, and yet still they did nothing for the citizens. Keith Scotland, pass that by Mr. Lennox now, and drop a little something so you can help the same children in the area you and the next one represent. The next one going to acquire England to open, just imagine, to open a bank account, and he said that the young people and the young person he know, that ID would work so good. He looked for a 90-something-year-old man to put as the ID and the trustee. So, all they put a little money to Uncle Lennox now, boy. All they have it. Karim, Marcel, you try to be like Keith Rowley and eminent Keith Rowley as a wajan. Throw a little something now, boy. Or it's millions they get a CPAP contract, boy. Or they put something in the people and have until they give back now for the last 10 years. All they suffer them. All they suck them like worse than Suknian and mosquito, boy. The people have gunia now, boy. All they give them back something, they give back something to the community now, boy. All the benefit to the high hem. And all they still let them use it out latrine, boy. So what is all they really doing? I'm begging for Uncle Lennox. So only Uncle Lennox is the wisest man in Lavantil and Port of Spain to see that how all they suffer the people and yet still only giving them a hard chance to donate something. Be another us and drop it now, boy. Chidwawi Ali, or where the mayor of Port of Spain, you have the mayor fund to celebrate independence and get corporate citizens to celebrate independence parade and show for the people, the patriot. Pastor drop something at the mayor fund for Uncle Lennox now, boy. But no, you see, all it is not about people-centered. And this is what is get vexed for. Because Uncle Lennox says, oh, go down and start to use big words on me. But I talk in plain layman terms. Only have money to do celebration because what? The UNC cancel independence. And it cancel carnival. But the same old people are the same 1%ers, others say. There's the people in the area, the conglomerates and the big highfalutin areas. They're senior citizens now. They can't even take a noise when a car pass or a dog back because it go with aging. Or they have no regards and respect for the senior citizens. But our honorable Prime Minister doing it in a more orderly fashion, attacking my Prime Minister. You talking, look, Uncle Lennox put up that stink ugly fella who had to go by a school child to get what everybody could go in their Spanish bullet to get.
Yeah, work for free. He paid for work for free, directly and indirectly. Yes, indeed. What do you get for free? He paid for it, yeah. And plain that he had some kind of, should I say, manly prowess. Manly. I mean, the man is simply ugly. And you must understand that now that he is no longer Prime Minister, you see, nobody studies him. They wouldn't even come to a meeting that he called. But he alone calling himself what? Honorable. Let me just make sure that you understand what that is all about. Look at here, look, he used honorable in his name. I using a blue, light blue.
Yes, I see
mark it out. Yes. Yeah. In his advertisement, he has the belly, the audacity, the temerity, the boldfacedness to call himself honorable. He call himself that, he make up that, as so many things he made up when he was Prime Minister. I mean, the man is just despicable and horrendous. Yes, indeed. But go ahead.
Just imagine, is not honorable, it's horrible, he man say. The horrible Keith Rowley. Just imagine, he telling the journalists, the office of the ex-prime minister opposition having a meeting, a press briefing, conference at the home. But it is behind every good man is a good man. But where's Sharon, by the way? Where's Sharon? Sharon going on vacation? She and Camille? Or the Bush Addison custody group one? No, but we are talking about them, The Children's Hospital is specially open, and I want to ask Dial Singh, the $500 million warehouse contract you get, and yet still you suffer people. You don't see it fit to open back the hospital for the children because the parents victimize the citizens for voting UNC, and all they try to make mischief with the union. Uncle Lennox, you have a next call on the line, but I will not call back and give way because I want to say something. And so before I go, I would like to let all your listeners know that tomorrow evening, 6 p.m., come down to Faizabad Motel Trace Junction and enjoy the youth, the children, the future of Trinidad and Tobago from the schools in the area. Faizabad Presbyterian, Pepper Village Government, Avocat Vidic, and Erin Road Presbyterian. These children, I can't say the big word, the Lumanites, the singers in Caroline and singing to show and bring a little piece of joy and comfort in our heart and bring back that love and unity and togetherness to show what love was in this country. Come and hear the youth, the nurturing, the young mind sing their heart out for free. And all we asking, just like how you have your drive up your Uncle Lennox, anybody can walk with a corned beef or a little red beet in a pan or a little bag, right? Because it's expensive, and they can drop it. So we can make up a little hamper to help others too in the area. And just imagine, I want to tell the other activists and them who feel there was activists in the UNC. This is done by activists, and the team, the name of the activist group is A team, working for the people in the community and building a better society. So I'm going to give way to the next caller because you have some real pressing issue to vent about what's going on in the country, and it is diverted. Okay.
Yes. Yes, man. Thanks very much, of course, for that contribution and those commendations and comments. Let's go straight, of course, to Mr. Digo Martin. He was on the handset, but I think it will be doing an injustice to him. And so, of course, we have him on the system itself. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. What's happening here? Uh, what's happening here now? All right, let's go again. Let's go again. Seen him there. Pleasant good night. Are you and me?
Loud and clear, and good night to you and all your listeners.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Go ahead.
All right. Listen to me carefully. We
Go
have
ahead.
to clap at those PNM trolls. So we have to come up with strategies. One of the better strategies is the ground report on Channel 4, TTT, etc.
Yes.
That is excellent. We will get our views out there.
That's right.
Now, beyond the tape, is the police, is TTPS paying for that program? And if they are paying, I would like to find out what is the cost. Or is TV6 the mouthpiece of the PNM, giving them a blight for that program? Are you aware if it's costing them, if they're paying for it?
Well, I could tell you that we did approach the police administration some time ago in the context of the ground report. We did meet with, I think, when the former commissioner of police was there, now head of the NTA, and of course he said that they were not paying. And therefore, because we went there to see if we can get some work from the police service to
But you
promote,
understand where I'm going?
yeah. So go ahead. So I could already tell you from my experience.
Right.
So you could draw from that.
So, seeing that is a state company, national security, why not give it a lateral shift on TTT? Because the followers of that program will then migrate towards TTT.
Yes.
You understand where I'm going? So it is a strategic move.
Yeah.
Because what I'm seeing, the police is making a lot of positive headway. I mean to say, reduction of murders by 40%. But still, every day in the PNM newspaper, the Guardian of Democracy and the other one, having every single criminal act that takes place in the newspaper, go through it. Every single thing. So what they're doing, they are masking the good work of the TTPS and by extension the state. They're putting a flawed narrative in the minds and the psyche of the Trinidad population. Previously, that was never happened. They used to hide the murder toll. The two newspapers, you couldn't find it.
Yeah, well, Rowley himself used to quarrel about that. Why it is that they're promoting that. And of course, he went as far as to make the most insane statement that, of course, it does not exist. People say that when the PNM is in government, murders escalates, and he claimed that it was hogwash. He claimed that it did not exist. Just in a state of what I consider to be, somebody said it today, a sort of dissonance, cognitive dissonance. But go ahead.
Yeah, because we want to sustain the actions of the current TTPS, even though I will continue to, on all programs that TTPS is involved, will always and continue to agitate for the reconstruct of the TTPS. And I think putting the program on TTT will basically lend support to their good work. No, another.
No, I just want to interject by saying that makes sense because, I mean, Here it is. You had a built-in arrangement that was only a good synergy, a good symbiotic relationship with the National Lottery, for example. That is called in TDT on a daily basis. I see no reason why that too cannot be aired from TDT and draw some greater what I consider be audience or viewer
Right,
and
greater
listenership. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, yes.
benefit for the police
Yeah.
because they're using the police to get viewership, but then the newspaper, the sister organization, basically painting the TTPS in a bad light. Think about it. Read newspaper and you'll see. So, 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 so the TTPS, I don't know, and I'm hoping that they're listening to see what value that can be. Now,
Yes.
the other issue is that, and I cannot hard, they want to absorb the SRP, something resembling police. That is all well and good, adding boots to the ground. But you cannot take every SRP immediately. I am hoping that they vet those people because remember the new Minister of Defense said he need police officers with GAN, not numbers. Yes, we owe some of this as SRP because Benjamin is a SRP, but he
Yes.
developed himself.
Yeah.
But you have to vet them to see if they can read and write. I'm not being derogatory on top of the police because if you put them on the ground, you want them to add value to the TPS. You don't want them pull TPS because the TPS is struggling at the leadership and at all levels because I have always been adamant. All of those, the majority of those people in the current leadership should have been disciplined a long time, and that's where the Police Service commissioners must go forthwith. And I would like a GSC to call them in now and question them in and do them just like Dukaran after the the, the thing with the Public Accounts Committee. They shred them and ask certain questions to show the weaknesses and the
Yeah.
biases and the non-performance. So bring in the GSC now, bring in the police and let them answer questions. So when you fire, the whole public will know why you're firing them. You don't have to go and defend your position because everybody glad some of them losing the work right away. Now, the third issue,
Uh-huh.
and this is where I have a problem with the mouthpiece of the PNM. Yesterday, the Gift of Light was a brilliant program. The minister, not the minister, the Honorable Prime Minister said the actions of the former government with respect to that hospital was malicious. What that tells you? That tells you something is awry with the behavior in public office. I was hoping that the both newspaper would have put a microphone in front of Terence the Nursing Home and ask him pointed questions. He cannot be allowed to go on skate because it caused many, many things to happen. 5,000 COVID, they didn't manage it properly. The nuclear deaths, that is on their chest. KCR and Terence the Terrible and a number of people who used to sit down every day during COVID and talk down to us, don't do this, don't do this. You know, I still have 5 years that I buy to make mass.
All right, I hear you.
You understand what I'm saying? And that is
Yes.
where our newspaper, daily newspaper, really, really don't want it. According to Anil, I do have a doctor buy for Popo. But those are the investigative stories that they come. I just say, I don't want St. Peter to act for me. I want to prosecute right here and let them do the penance at the time right in here. Because we already building a nice prison up there, up on the east-west corridor.
Yes.
So we have to populate it from now.
I hear you.
All right, the final one,
Yes.
Monas Island. What happened in 2005? Remember the big drug box and the police and the
Yeah. Some youth man was a fall
Right.
guy from
All
Movant, in
right.
fact, from Movant, from my neck of the woods. But go ahead.
Right. 5 months after, the PNM minister Neville lost his head. They said it ended up in a box in Colombia, right?
Yes.
What will happen now? A big kidnapping going on, right? 2.5 million US. Pa. Monos is a small island for wealthy people, and everybody is macro. The neighbor, you can't go just so. So just, I am just putting two things. Birds of a feather, you know what they do. And show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. And I'm saying no more on it. It is a small island. If you flush your toilet, your neighbor can hear. And only the rich and wealthy have access to that island, right? So I ain't saying nothing. Connect the dots. That is 3 dots are connected for you. Go on. Have a nice night.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. And of course, I'm sure that those of you who were paying attention would have been noticing the what I consider to be the drawings of this man who believed that he is some kind of a macho, significant player, and that his virility is one, but only because he held certain offices. I'm sure that the wife that he got would have been as a consequence. Not that he is any kind of he doesn't have the qualities. He doesn't have the qualities. We know that. So it has to be at something else that these women would have been attracted to, which of course it has nothing to do with his physique or anything like that. But I thought I should make it very, very graphic that nobody wants him embarrassing himself all over the place. And therefore, yesterday was just another of the faux pas that was stereotypical of Rowley when he was in government. Let's scratch him off a little more. Let's scratch him off a little more. Yeah, let's scratch him off. Scratch him off. Scratch him off. Scratch him off. He's no damn good. Scratch him off. Scratch him off. Yeah, you sycophants, you can say what you want. The fact is that he has proven to be the bane of the people and the most wickedest individual in Trinidad and Tobago as a human being, far lesser to be prime minister. Yes, scratch him off, write him off, do what you want, but make certain that he does not and cannot return to any public prominence in this country. Yes, indeed. I thought it was important, of course, to treat with that tonight. And of course, it may look hilarious, but he fooled himself, believing that somehow he had some kind of influence, especially in Tobago, where he's from. Nobody likes him. He's the bane of the community, bane of the nation. He's the most hated individual in this country and has the audacity to put himself to say that that people must come to listen to he. Yes, indeed. I thought it was important, of course, to treat with that. Yeah. Once again, making himself honorable. No, there's no honorable in this man. Nothing honorable in this man. Nothing. And let's get back, of course, to serious matters, and that is, of course, the fact is that the ground report will be moving to TTT, and I think it's important that we play that and the people understand that. Yes, indeed, because we can make it if we try.
So the bells are broke and they say that we set up jamming. So no foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talking nonsense. But the majority are we decide we're not going to run. Because now is the time to show me patriotism.
I'm sure you remember of course, the pushback movement. Remember some delivery of letters because of the evil, and when of course we protested, we were tear gassed. Don't forget that evil man. So don't be too annoyed, even though of course you are a sycophant, that I have of course virtually mutilated and disfigured this fella for his audacity, his temerity, his gall and his effrontery to call a meeting that no one appreciates. And I could well imagine how Penelope Beckles and they are annoyed. I'm sure that their irascibility has no limits. Yeah, they had to be vexed. What the hell, just so? So the PNM has become a free-for-all. Past, present, and anybody else who could call a press conference and host it in spite of the protestation of the leader or the approval or non-approval. Let's go to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
A pleasant good night to you, Uncle Lennox, and your listeners in all and sundry. Share the life. Share the life. We need the 20,000. So, Uncle Lennox, as I say once upon a time,
Yes.
if they use one finger, that is 10,000 people we have to get. But if they use two fingers, that is only 5,000 people we have to get. So, on a double dip a little bit there, be greedy, and on a line up, and share and share. But here what's going on, Uncle Lennox.
Yes.
Kid Rowley tell himself he bullied this, how he run his cabinet. He tell himself that arrogant way and bully this. And the EBC, they call a meeting or something. It ain't no food can, it ain't no giveaway, it ain't no hamper, and it ain't nobody to ride no buses they can't go to work in the morning. So that one we lost, that's why he should know. He comes like a lonely hermit on a rock in the middle of the ocean. The only thing around him is water, which he loves, but yet still he can't enjoy it. Because he has nothing else but himself alone on that rock. Eh? And then he used to be an island among himself. He wanted to be an island. Then he become the hermit on the island. And people reject him. And it's the same thing that thank God to Begonians. Just imagine. You know a fella called Biswa, where a Nobel Peace Prize man get for literature in Trinidad. He write about Mr. Biswa. He say, if I'm not wanted in my own land, how should I be? happy in an ex-man land. I wonder how he feel to know that the place of birth is Lekoto, next to Lekoto. And in the Jumbie and them reject him. And if it wasn't for the radar, right? And the radar talk and the peace in the Caribbean, the PNM had nothing to talk about. Now, anyway, I see our caller on the answer. Take it.
Yes, thanks very much. Thanks very much, of course. Vidya Naipaul, of course, yes, a very sad man writing about Trinidad and Tobago and his own experience in terms of the racial discrimination, clearly, that he would have experienced with the dominance of a so-called African-based party, which, of course, turned out to be cooperation of individuals that are part of a criminal enterprise called the PNM. A pleasant good night, Mr. San Fernando. Go ahead.
Yeah, good night to you.
Good night to you.
Good night to all your listeners. I have to mention it because I was just going to tell you that big shine you had up in
Yeah. I had to mutilate it, man. Yeah.
That whole thing is wrong, because the question is, which Tobagonian he getting to come out to the stage right now? Which Tobagonian he talking about?
But the man said due to technical difficulty, he had to postpone. And he said that tonight is not a good night. I think I heard him say that, all of that. It meant that, of course, he understood that he was rejected. I bet you here he called no meeting again. Watch and see.
Yeah. No.
That's the test.
I want to go down the road here. I was watching a clipping last night with an interview with Roger Alexander, where the media was questioning him about the radar in Tobago.
All right.
And I think that what they were doing is trying to get him to slip up.
Yeah. That's what the media would do. The media has a lot of leeway now because democracy is not just a concept. It is a practice as well, a way of life. And Rowley and while they talk it, they never practice it. But this government is doing both the talking and the practice so that they will allow people to talk even though they may disagree. As one politician would have said, let the jackasses bray. But go ahead.
Yeah, because you see, why I'm saying that is because it takes me back to the position with NJAC.
Yes.
When NJAC got, that was now between 2010 to 2015. That was NJAC's really good time to really push it and make use of what they had.
Yes.
But as soon as the political leader went down a road and started to talk about he never see so much corruption yet. That is what the PNM was waiting on.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I was amazed. I don't think it was a lapse at all. But when I had my interview to join the coalition of interests, I remember Kamala Prasad Bisesa making reference to Laventon and, of course, talking about Macandel Daga. And she said that, of course, they performed creditably when they were together in the partnership between 2010 and 2015. And I had to remind her that of that very thing that you said. And then of course I saw that there was a change in complexion and tone because she too remembered that level of betrayal, just as of course David Abdullah with MSJ, and we can have conclaves. And we said that we are not going to. In fact, we will be standing at the doors, at the gates, at the entrances, or the exits, as the case may be, for those and waiting for those who believe that they can come and extract and then betray. And we are waiting on them impatiently.
Yeah, the
Yes.
The media is waiting on
Yeah,
somebody.
the media is waiting for the Kankata and the and the unraveling and the and the and the and the fiction and the friction in order to get a story and to project a narrative that is sympathetic to the PNM. That and a pink donkey they will not see.
But what amazed me last night about that video when I was watching it is that it is a Grenadian person that first came on and talked about the politics in Trinidad and Tobago and what Roger Alexander was doing. And he came back just after about 5 minutes or so. After 5 minutes. And he was explaining what's going on in Trinidad. And to me, that was also, what he was saying was also out of context because he had a right in Trinidad politics as far as I think so. You understand?
Yes.
Because for a Grenadian, you're talking about Trinidad politics and you know what you're saying. Because to me, that whole setup was to get Alexander to slip. And if he had only slipped, they'd have taken the UNC to task. Because the Grenadian guy was saying that what cameras still have Roger Alexander doing in the cabinet or on the inside. She should have gotten rid of it. That's what he was saying.
Did they advance a reason for that?
No.
Just so. Because them don't like him.
Yeah.
Well, that and a pink donkey too, they will not see.
Yeah. If I could get the clip again, I'll search for it tonight.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and most likely if I get it, I can send it to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend. Yes.
All right. Okay.
Thanks very much. Yeah, people have information. People have their own assessments of the realities of Trinidad and Tobago, their circumstance, and the efforts of the present government. Nobody could deny the sincerity of the present government. And whilst things may not be rosy as one would like, because there's a difference between pragmatic and praxis and the reality. Let me... Yes, indeed, and the reality. And because of the sincerity of the government, people are going to accommodate, they are going to adapt and adjust because they know later down the road it will be in their interest on a sustainable basis. We have seen, of course, the PSA. That's a tremendous hit for the Treasury. $3.8 billion to be paid out. A major portion of which will be before the 28th of this month. Already, of course, we have seen the dislodging of the property tax. We are clearing our minds, and we of purity of heart that no way there will be anytime soon an increase in what? In water rates or electricity. We have seen, of course, the draconian and used to abuse the motoring population that are part and parcel of the transportation system to make a living and therefore livelihoods were destroyed because of the reckless and brutal imposition of the points system that caused people's license to be taken away and therefore their livelihood. You must know eventually what you ought to do when you see that people's licenses are being taken away, whether you're a truck driver, a taxi driver, a bus driver, as the case may be. What you think will happen? The cost of living ultimately will rise because you'll have less of these people to traverse or to cause commuters to take them from one destination to the next. And on top of that, you raise gasoline prices not once, not twice. And then talk about people in riot yet and Innsbruck, and they have the audacity, the temerity, the gall, the effrontery, and the boldfacedness to come in our faces and then, of course, try to give advice and to appear as to be holier than thou. And suddenly they have this what I consider to be imbuement of self-righteous indignation. Yes, all sanctimonious. They know now. And you have this buffoon clearly suffering from what I consider to be lateral inequality. Lateral inequality. Or put another way, as my son would have said some time ago, lateral asymmetry. But of course, he would use the word symmetry. Lack of coordination and equality. Yes, indeed. That is what they have proven to be. Brian Manning is a monumental disgrace. And every time he opens his mouth, not only does he exhibit that level of inaneness, that level of stupidity, that level of nonsensicalities. I heard him in last occasion again, after telling us that big businesses don't have to, if they have a fleet of vehicles, they don't have to pay insurance. And always trying to tell somebody that he knows. I suppose he probably have a nose. N-O-S-E. Not K-N-O-W. No, it can't be. And as my mother would normally say, the man is as dunce as the back of a spoon. Yes, that's an idiom. You know, an idiom, of course, is a term that you use that is incongruent to with, of course, the components of the statement that you would have made, and therefore you had to know. You're dunce like the back of a spoon. Dunce like the back of a spoon. Doesn't make sense if you look at it from a literal perspective, but if you understand the meaning, you will know. Just, of course, like a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. That is what we are talking about. Common sense appeared not to be as common among the PNM as we thought, because they were engaged, of course, in a level of camouflagery, a level of theatrics, a level of histrionics, a level of tomfoolery, as their incompetence and impotence and their indolence reign supreme and large whilst in opposition. And we know that they were fake, false, and never again must they see the offices, the public offices that Rowley and they invaded, decimated, disrespected, destroyed. And of course, worse yet, when they would have raided, pillaged the treasury of the country, to line their pockets, friends, family, and acquaintances, including Balize House, which of course Rowley said they sell what? Raffle. How come it's stalled now? How come as they're out of office it's so low? And how come one has to ask the question, where is they were in office, it was of course climbing like the Tower of Babel in biblical times. Tower of Babel. And now it has come to a crushing halt. They're lucky to get that other part finished, because I had prophesied and predicted that when they get out of office, that place will remain as it is now. It is being subjected like they did of those legitimate constructed schools of 107 that they left in various stages of decadence and abandonment, a dereliction of duty and responsibility. And now it has come full circle. It has boomeranged. And now Balize House is like the cheese. It's been left wanting. It has been left abandoned. Has been left wanting. It has been left to the ravages of the elements. We will see it in 6 months' time. We'll see it. Because we say it was and is blood money that constructed those two, one of which they, and I don't think that is totally completed. It was dependent on the other one being completed, the one in the car park with 5 stories high, because they had no elevator, they had no electricity, they have no plumbing, they just have glass partially, and of course concrete. The Lord moves in mysterious ways, man, his wonders to perform. And yes, ma'am, in the fullness of time, blue lights and silver bracelets will be the dominant factor. I take solace. I take motivation. I take optimism when the sitting Attorney General says, I'll go to war with you, and pointedly, poignantly, as to who he was referring to and is referring to. It's just a matter of time. Have some patience. Evil cannot, as I've often said, prevail over good. Whilst, of course, they believe that the PNA will prevail. Well, they are in the doldrums. They are in reversal. They are in helter-skelter, higgledy-piggledy. They are in collapse and fragmentation, as we saw and we heard that Penelope Beckles was vexed, annoyed that Raoul he took the spotlight momentarily with this so-called meeting with the former Prime Minister. And I think just about 9 persons showed up, if so much. Whilst he was prepared, whilst in government and holding, of course, the legal reins, the legal reins of office and power. And when 5,000 of us assembled at the Savannah, because when we said loudly and to the top of our voices, Rowley must go, those in the law enforcement talking about crowd control as the pretext to test their tear gas canisters and recklessly discharge them on the grass, in the savannah, out of the savannah, in the road. Ordinary passers-by were affected by it. Whether you call it karma or you call it poetic justice, or you call it natural justice, or you accept the fact that evil cannot prevail over good. The fact of the matter is that Rowley and his cohorts, who have done so much damage and pain and agony and stress to the people of Trinidad and Tobago between 2015 and the 28th of April this year, they must pay the price. They must pay the price. All of them, without exception. So people, of course, the time is now what? Yes, it's 45, 9:45. I gave you back your time, 15 minutes, thereabout. So it's time, of course, to make our departure. Let me say to you once again, stay tuned. The Ground Report will be moving to a wider audience by nature or by default, as we are able to recapture those minds, those listeners, and those viewers in this case, in this new dispensation that will be unfolding from the 5th of January. Andy, Mikey, and myself will be, of course, at the helm. And we have a solemn oath and solemn determination to make certain that not only must the present government do good by all of us, but that the past administration and the now in opposition must never see political office of a public nature. They could have the party and go into Balize House and enjoy the blood money if they can, but I can't see them enjoying concrete and mortar and steel. No elevator, I know where they're going up for, but that Tower of Babel that they have created. People, have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless. And see you tomorrow morning on the Ground Report, Andy, Mikey, and myself. And don't forget, of course, tomorrow night we return here for another episode of the Corridor Transformation. I did not, of course, share with you some of the other items I would have liked to share with you, such as, of course, the tournament, the East-West Corridor tournament, the DNA tournament, but I will do that tomorrow. We have all that to share with you. But remember, of course, that we are patriotic Trinbagonians, and we really would like to see our country grow and bloom. Glow and bloom. And the Ground Report and other elements of consciousness in this country will be only too glad to make their contribution, simply because we are motivated and encouraged by a government led by Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, who has demonstrated in more ways than one her love and care for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. All of us. And therefore, we must reciprocate by being as industrious, tolerant, and committed. Yes, indeed, people. But let's get out of here with, of course, some Christmassy music. Yes, let me see if I could use Beckett. I think he has some beautiful Christmas music. Let's see if we can get some of that.
Sing me Noel, sing me joyously Noel. Joyously sing of the news we have to tell. Born to us in the little village of Bethlehem on this day is the little Christ child so pure and holy. He's sleeping little village of Bethlehem on this day. It's a little Christ child so pure and holy, he's sleeping there in the hay. Oh, little baby, no other place was found except in a manger with cows and sheep around. Yet the glory of this wee baby was sung by angels so fair. There were wise men and shepherds to give him honor and bring him presents so rare.
This is Gloria